Hi Sonal, welcome to our hi. So I was looking at understanding how what is the new situation and how do we understand it? How do we look at what is expected out of us? There are many questions that have come up in this time which are not the same as before. We have now a lot of knowledge in the local amongst the people, but overall I'm wondering, some of these questions are very insightful and very simple in their minds, but still people don't have answers for it. So with that reasoning, I wanted to call you, being the co-founder at Idea Shacks from the health side. So you were the one I wanted to reach out and ask those amazing questions that our audience has asked us n number of times. So please give us an understanding in the beginning. What is your opinion? What is this current situation? How do you take it?
Okay. Looking at the current scenario, the thing is, as you know, as compared to the last year, the number of cases were very high, you know, and there was no variant at all. We just knew about COVID-19. There is some sort of COVID-19 which has come up, that virus that has been released by China. And over there, the symptoms usually were shortness of breath, high fever, loss of taste and loss of smell, weakness, lethargy, sometimes headache also. But and then yes, it is a deadly disease. Actually, we may say it's a virus. And last year we faced a huge amount of, you can say, increase in the number of death rate. But if we were not prepared that time, the government was not at all prepared that time. We did not know about the hospitalization. We did not know about the medicine. We did not know about any vaccination. You might have heard the speech of Narendra Modi, which he addressed to the people, I think, a few days ago. And he told us that time we were not prepared. But now, since the doctors are getting used to this, because it's been more than a year, now they have got to know this new variant also, which has come up. And they are now able to treat people also. What we can see is that there is a decline in the number of death rate. So although it is spreading very rapidly at a very high rate, but definitely the death rate has declined, because now the doctors are able to at least, treat the patients. They know what the medicine is. They are trying to help people, and obviously people are also helping each other by staying inside. They're helping their families by remaining inside and only moving whenever it is required. So, which is definitely a great deal. And if we say another variant of COVID definitely has new symptoms also, which people I don't think so they are aware of. So, in addition to all the factors which we know about the COVID, that it is, you have headaches, you have high fever, you have sore throat, you have shortness of breath, definitely you require oxygen. What now this variant is coming up with 3 new, you can say, symptoms. One is you have hearing impairment. The second one we can say is, I think it's pink eyes. Yes. And the third is loose motions, which people are not aware of this variant. And this variant basically is clustered. It is not going everywhere. But it is spreading into a cluster of people. It's like that. So you need to be aware of this also now. I'm not sure whether many people are aware of the fact that these kind of symptoms are also, people are actually getting. So you need to be aware of that. And also vaccinations have increased, which is a good thing. And we have two new vaccines, which everybody know, which is Covaxin, and definitely the other one is Covishield. And now people need to be protected, especially the adults, especially the younger generation, which is 18 plus, because these are the ones who are now becoming carriers. So they need to be protected.
Right. thanks for telling us all these things, which are actually, I was not aware that the symptoms have changed as well. They have added some more symptoms with the new variant. Thanks for sharing those. Uh, so can we get back to all the questions that our audience has asked us so many times? So can I start asking you some questions? These are very simple questions.
Yes,
You'll be able to just answer as per your understanding, right? So
yes, please, all yours.
yeah, thanks. So the first question that I have received is, can I get COVID-19 even after vaccination? And what is the probability of getting reinfected even when I've got the second dose of vaccination, right? Can you please throw some light on this?
Yeah, so basically, as we know that in India, we have two types of vaccinations available, which is Covaxin and Covishield, which are both safe and effective for people. So I would firstly recommend everyone to please get yourself vaccinated. The other thing is, what we have come to know from the data is that you need to get 2 doses. The first dose definitely will make you some, will get you some immunity. The other one is, the second dose basically you need to get after 4 to 6 weeks. Earlier it was, I think, a month, but now the government has changed this. It's either 4 to 6 weeks or 8 weeks. You can wait up to 2 months. And after getting the second vaccine, after 14 days of that, you are actually immune to the virus. But having said that, the thing is that what the data is, with the data shared by the government, they say that approximately more than 1.25 crore people in India have received the vaccination. And out of that, only 4,000 people actually got succumbed to virus again. So, which is a very low amount. That's hardly 0.04%. But also if you get the virus, if you contract the virus again, the symptoms are very minimal. So it is not a life-threatening disease, which actually it is as of now before the vaccination. So that is the reason people should get vaccinated, as far as possible. And next, ask, or if you want me to. Arjun, can you hear me?
I think we need to move the camera once more. I think the visual is not coming correctly.
Okay.
Right. I think we are back. Now we are back. So yeah, I understood that vaccination is very important, right? But overall, what they are very fearful about is, what is the use of a vaccination if the vaccination does not help me 100% or give me a chance of survival, or even if I am reinfected, I can really take care of it. What is the kind of, so my question would be, and what I think what they are trying to ask is, what is the immunity and how long is the immunity that this vaccine is giving people? And number two, the meaning that could come out of this is that if the vaccination is being done, is it any use, or is it just an experiment right now and we just have to do it because our percentage of death rates are going lesser because of that? I am not sure what that reasoning is. So the fear is, even if I get vaccines, right, will I really get protected from getting reinfected? Will I be protected against getting reinfected? That's what they are asking. Yes, you are telling us that vaccination is important. Is there any way of understanding that after the vaccination I'm safe?
See, that's what I told you, that I gave you the data saying that there is a chance of 0.04% of people getting succumb to the virus again.
Okay.
And that disease will not be life-threatening. Symptoms might appear, but they will be minimal. So people can easily, at least it's not life-threatening. It's not the question of life and death. And oxygenation, I don't think so, will be required at that particular point of time. But definitely there might they might end up having mild symptoms, but they will at least pass it. That's the thing. So vaccination is important. Yes.
Yes,
And
so it
obviously,
reduces the
because of these
chance
two
of
doses, you will
fatality.
get
Mortality is
immune to it.
reduced. So what you're trying to say is
Yes.
mortality is reduced by it, right? So it
Yes.
actually
Yes.
increases your chances of surviving the next reinfection. So that's a good reason to get
Yes.
vaccinated. Thanks, Sonal. Now going forward with the next question. See, when they are asking us that, yes, we have taken our parents to get a vaccination done, right? Now, when they go to the hospital, they also fear this, that when they enter the waiting area or any place, what is the chance of getting reinfected because of that? Where there could be chances that there is no social distancing. What are the hospitals doing to actually prevent infection due to going to the venue and getting vaccinated? If you could help us out with that, that will be amazing.
See, the thing is, first of all, the COVID wards are totally different in every hospital. They have made separated from the main hospital, and where you will be getting vaccinated is a totally different area. Plus, they have made sure that there are, there's social distancing, that they've maintained all the protocols which have to be followed by a person for COVID-19, that you have to be in your mask, your sanitizers. Over there also, definitely in a hospital, sanitizers will be placed. But first, you need to go and register yourself on the government app, which is www.cowin.gov.in. Over there, you will be getting the slots also. You can choose the slot for the hospitals over there, and then definitely they will be giving you a time slot. What you can do is, over there in that time slot, they will be allowing only 5 or less than 5 people to be there present at that particular time of the vaccination, and you will be socially distant. So definitely hospitals are also taking care of that, because they know that, if the people are, if they have 50 or 100 people at the same particular time, definitely there are chances of getting infected. So they are taking care of that you have to get registered first yourself on the app, and provided you get registered, then only you are able to go to a particular hospital where you can get your time slots.
Now, one thing that we have all observed is that many hospitals are listed on the government app, but there are some that are also not registered on the government app. So, for example, one hospital in Southex, Moolchand Hospital, right, is not listed on the CoWIN app. When my parents went in and got their vaccination done, they had to call the hospital directly and get an appointment from them. So if a person, what I would assume is, if a person prefers a hospital, they can always go ahead and book the hospital directly as well. And and the way you have told us, it is rightly said that obviously in the hospitals, if they are taking responsibility of vaccination, they will also take the responsibility of social distancing and maintaining that decorum, to make sure that anyone who's coming for a vaccination is not reinfected because of is not infected because of the action of coming to get vaccinated. So that is a fear that people should not keep in their mind. Obviously, there is some responsibility of the person getting vaccinated as well, where they need to take care that if somebody is trying to break the decorum of 6 feet distancing, then they need to be very aware and make their immediate environment very, very safe, right? Am I correct?
Yes. All the hospitals are listed basically. Sometimes the government app doesn't work properly, obviously, because there's an increase in the number of people, working towards that app. So all the hospitals have to be listed over there. In case they are not, you can definitely call them on the number and then get yourselves a particular time slot. That is also there. So you need not worry about list of hospitals. Definitely, if you can go to any hospital which is nearby you, you can just call them and book a time slot, and they'll be available for you.
Right, right. Thanks, Sonal. So I will straight away go to the third question. So there have been a lot of data being shared by hospitals and uh, doctors alike, where they are saying that when the oxygen count goes down, they have a very ingenious step that a person needs to take, which we have come across, is that they can uh, go ahead and lie on their stomach or chest and then uh, do a deep breathing exercise. Is that helpful?
Yes, yes. I would
How
say
to
it's
do it?
medically accepted actually. It is medically accepted, and this is known as prone position basically. Let me tell you that last year in Italy, when there were a lot of deaths happening, doctors actually tried this pose and they tested it, because when you lie down supine, so the lungs are actually more active, become more active, and then definitely when you start deep breathing, the air passage is open. So directly you can breathe directly, and it can obviously help in increasing the level of oxygen. So last year also in Italy, the doctors have tried and tested, and they actually saved a lot of life by increasing the amount of oxygen, because there was lack of oxygen cylinders over there. So this is actually, I would say, this is medically proven, and I would request everyone who is actually self isolating themselves at home, and if oxygen level goes down below 95, please do try this position. First, you need to lie down on your stomach. Definitely, you can keep below your chin. Then two pillows, from your chest to the stomach, and last pillow to the shin area. So, which is very helpful. And then you start taking, deep breaths. For this is recommended for half an hour to 2 hours. And then you have to change your position and lie towards your left. Then again, do this breathing exercise. Then change your position and lie towards the right. And then you can sit. But please do not lie towards your back. You do not have to lie towards your back. You just have to lie towards your stomach, then to the left, and then to the right. And then you can sit. And then do these exercises for approximately starting from half an hour till 2 hours. Then definitely you can see the surge in oxygen levels going up. This is actually recommended. I would recommend everyone to do this at home.
This is a very nice situation, very nice data that you provided. This could be a very easy way of allaying the fear of getting COVID and how to handle it. This is such a nice thing. You don't have to think of getting panicked about what to do in that moment when the oxygen level goes down. This is a very nice suggestion, ma'am. So thank you. Let's go forward with the fourth question. What are the effects of COVID pandemic on mental health, and what exercises would you recommend to people? Mental health has been something that has been coming up as a topic, because so many ways of COVID is affecting a person's life. So from work side, it is affecting them negatively. From money side, it is affecting them negatively. From family side, people are getting affected negatively also. There are some positives also, but obviously we are right now talking about only the negative effects and how can we make those go away, so that the process of healing also becomes easier for the doctors to take care of, right? So please give us some ideas of how to keep us mentally strong, how to make ourselves more available in a positive manner to our near and dear ones. That's the question I'm asking. Can you please answer?
Yeah. See, the thing is, obviously, because of COVID, I can understand people going into isolation, depression. Definitely, the loss of loved one, bereavement. Then you have loss of jobs. There's so many jobs which we have lost actually in COVID. There's so many people, and they have that stress of finances on them. How will they survive? How their family will survive? There are many people who don't have anything to eat. as of now, and they are actually, surviving on day-to-day basis. We can see many charitable organizations providing them food and shelter. Definitely, there's lots of, there is a lot of fear, there's a lot of anger, rage happening, and you just have to be isolated, sitting in one place, doing nothing. You cannot go outside, you cannot go for walks, you cannot go to the park for jogging. So definitely, and this has actually led to increase in, you can say, mental disorders also. And definitely, this has led to difficulty in concentrating. It has led to increase of excessive intake of alcohol also, and cigarettes also, which definitely is deteriorating the health. So first of all, I would suggest everyone that to please kindly limit your information regarding the COVID. Obviously, it's good to have information, good to listen to the news on daily basis, but it's better if you just listen to them once or twice, not continuously. Or mental activities like spend time with your family, talk to them, get on a WhatsApp call. These days you have privilege of calling on FaceTime or WhatsApping or Zoom calls, which we are taking care of it, and we can actually talk to our family members or relatives who are not here, who are free. So talk to them or get engaged in different activities, read a book. You can definitely, meditate. You have to exercise. Obviously, definitely, I would not suggest, hardcore exercises, but light exercises like pranayam, yoga, meditation for some time, which can actually help you relax your mind. And people who are working from home like 9 to 5, you can, after 5 p.m., definitely they can have a chit chat with their friends. They can cook something if they want. Like many people who haven't cooked because they have the privilege of having maids at home. So you definitely get a chance to, go for a good meal with your family once.
Right.
And definitely eat diet. This I will recommend to everyone. Nutritious, balanced diet. Please don't go for much of fats. Switch your sugary drinks and foods to lemonades or water. This time you can add summer fruits also these days because access. So I would recommend that people to do. Read a book definitely, and spend time with your family as much as you can.
Right. So amazing to know that mental health can be solved socially. The way you have told us that talking to your family, getting together, trying to keep yourself busy, and making sure that you are exercising as well as practicing yoga like pranayam and those things. These are all positive things. And COVID, I think,
Right.
is also forcing us to become positive about ourselves, about our health, and give priority to it. So why not? It is a happy situation where we can definitely concentrate on things that really matter, right? So on this,
So the time when
yeah,
you did not get any time to spend with your family, now is the chance you can do that. So
agreed.
that's a big.
Agreed. And using it positively creates an opportunity for actually improving your health. So thanks a ton, Sonal. It was a pleasure talking to you. This was very informational and insightful. Uh, we have always had these questions, and these are small questions. But obviously, when you come to the point of getting cured or having something of a COVID affecting you at that moment, there is no time for a person to think about these positive things. So why not concentrate on the preventive measures than to look at cures, right? On that note, I would like to thank you. It has been a pleasure this evening talking to you. Uh, on another level, for the audience, I would like to tell them that Idea Shacks Co-working, which is now renamed as the unit at Faridabad, powered by Idea Shacks Co-working, is hosting its first vaccination drive in its venue on in the first week of May. The dates are coming soon. We will let you know when they come in. Red Cross and Daksh Foundation is organizing that event at our location. And please be happy that all vaccination will be free because the government is coming in and using our venue to get this executed at our location. Please stay connected with us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you feel comfortable. We will be sharing all this information in the coming days. So don't miss out. Tell your families, friends, and anyone close to you, anyone you know, to just call us at 8448-777-687 and register yourself, pre-register yourself. We just need that data to move forward with the programming on that day. You can call us anytime, today, tomorrow, any day before the date is announced also. And we will help you out with all the information that we have. So thank you, Sonal, once again. It was a pleasure talking to you. Hope our audience got a little bit of their fears allayed by all this information that came in today. So I would like to close this call now. And this video will also be uploaded on YouTube and on our Facebook channel. So you can always see it anytime, right? Thank you. Thanks, Sonal. Pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.